Hi there everyone, Tony Westwood aka the Mind Fit Golf Coach here. This is part 2 of our hypnosis series, helping you understand how you manage to get yourself in such a state when you begin to go out and play golf. Hypnosis is just a state, that's all it is. It's reliant upon you doing certain things to replicate what you might want to happen or what you maybe don't want to happen. There's loads of things you do which you'll be successful at. You've got a pattern, a process that you go through. You've found out that you've been successful lots and lots of times, and without thinking about it, you're relaxed, you're focused, you just go on and do whatever it is you need to do. If only golf was like that, hey, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? You see, the areas of the game which develop the biggest issues for many golfers generally end up in the areas closer to the green, the short game and obviously the putting. I think that the most documented golfer we would have seen many years ago start to have issues with putting was Bernhard Langer. He was one of the first guys to go to the broom handle putter and still uses it to this day. And he would miss very short putts. And for me, it's about patterns, the patterns we get ourselves into. So what do we need to do? How does that begin to work? So if hypnosis is a state, it's relying upon you being in a certain place, doing similar things all the time. So invariably when you're putting, you're on the green, you're looking down at the same putter, looking down at the ball, looking towards the hole, trying to see if you can get the ball into the hole. That creates more pressure. There's no pressure on a tee shot. The fairways can be quite generous. Your second shot or third shot onto the green's quite big. Now we've got to get the ball into this really small hole. And if we start to have issues, we're going to use the same club, trying to get into the same size hole on a green that looks the same. So that's when those patterns create issues, create tension, anxiety, frustration, anger in many cases. So what we've got to do is begin to understand how we can begin to break those patterns. So one of the things I would do with a golfer who has got putting issues is get them looking at a different putter. Our minds are inherently curious. By looking at a different putter, we're changing one of those factors. We're not using the same pattern. We might change the grip slightly. So again, it feels different. Because remember, we've been conditioned to think that we've got to do so many things the same when we play golf that we expect to get the same result, when that couldn't really be further than the truth. We get lots of different results. So it's about being flexible, adaptable, understanding that the power in our unconscious mind is where we need to play golf when we create issues from a conscious perspective. It's not about getting into hypnosis. When you walk onto that green and you're having problems with your putting, you're already hypnotized. You're already getting into yourself into that state. You feel a certain way emotionally. Your heart rate might increase. Your breathing will be different. You then look at the hole, you look at the ball, you look at the same putter. All of a sudden, all these things stack up, and then you repeat the same result. Even if sometimes when you're successful, you'll then say, oh, I was a bit lucky then. I myself have had loads of problems in the short game. So getting closer to the green and not being able to take a lofted club and play a shot that will get me over an obstacle or onto the green. It's been with me for well over 20 years, but around about 9 or 10 months ago, I started to make some changes to understand what I needed to do physically to help me understand how could I get the club back to the golf ball more effectively. And that has now changed quite dramatically. I'm far more relaxed. I can play the shots comfortably because I've gathered a certain amount of confidence based on the success I've started to have. Rather than giving myself a hard time if I don't play the shot quite as well, I just accept the facts of what happened and then move on to the next shot. It's quite simple, really. My unconscious mind is more than capable of doing the job, but I was trying to do things consciously, trying to find positions in my swing that would help me play particular shots. Remember, in part 1, we talked about the fact that your unconscious mind has all the power. I'll repeat that. Your unconscious mind has all the power. Your conscious mind needs to deal with facts. What club do I need to take? Where do I need to land it? And then once you've decided that, let your unconscious mind play the shot. There's obviously certain elements of technique which need to be discussed, but if we're using the correct technique, we can begin to understand how we need to transfer that energy into the golf ball. And that's all we're being asked to do, is how do we transfer energy using our body and a stick into a golf ball. As we said last time, too high goes low, too low, you'll hit the ground or the ball will go up in the air. Hit it on the left, it goes right, on the right, it will go to the left. And the simpler we can keep it, the better it's going to be. Remember, hypnosis is just a state. If you're using a particular club and you're having problems with that particular club, you are getting into that state that's going to cause you to repeat the same or similar thing that you've done in the past. It's about getting out of hypnosis, not into hypnosis. If we can follow that as a plan, we can really begin to make progress. Next time, we're going to talk about what the golfing industry has done to help you to become hypnotized. There's loads of stuff out there that you can read in terms of information to help you, but is it really helping the golfer? That's all for now, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.